How's it going, Dave and Comic Book Investments? So in this video, we're going to look at 5 keys that are heating up, and they are heating up quite a bit. There's a lot on here that have gone up tremendous amounts, like almost 80% in like a couple months. You should see these graphs. This is going along straight up. Man, it's crazy. But yeah, before I do, if you haven't checked out my website, CollectorsComicscom, we have an auction running right now. This is our 3rd one. We got a ton of stuff in. You can just check it out, go through, look at all the cool stuff that we have, and think about participating in the auction. This stuff is always 0% fees, 0% buyer's premium. So for our next auction, if you're thinking about sending something in, feel free to send something in for a consignment, and we take care of all the work, shipping, everything. Yes, it's 100% free. But if you see something on there you like, feel free and bid. All right, so let's jump right into this list. All right, first we got Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars #1. A 9.4 is up 18% from 116 to 137. A 9.6 is up 46% from 138 to 202. And a 9.8 is up 76% from 481 to 851 on average. Look at that, just straight up 76%. That is quite a jump from one average to the next average. Not peaks to highs and all that kind of lows and all that stuff, just average to average. That's no surprise. It's because Marvel announced Secret Wars and announced a whole bunch of other stuff. That's why this one just jumped up out of nowhere. It is currently above its previous peak, which was during the comic boom. So looks like things can go way past the peak. Now, my 2 cents. If you have this book, I would think about selling it. That's just my 2 cents. If you have it, I would consider selling it. Why? I just don't like. It's gonna get probably go a little higher, but I feel like the hype is so strong it's gonna go down, because the way movies works and TV shows with comics is because every comic. Why do you collect a certain comic? Like, why are you out there? Whatever your favorite. So say mine's Hulk, and I want Hulk. Well, because I like Hulk the best. So if I was going to collect something and I wanted a Hulk run or a first appearance of the Hulk or whatever it is, Hulk related, I would go after the key issues, and I'm willing to spend money because those are the books I want. So it's just because, like, if Hulk was like the Green Llama, which no one knows about, I do, but I'm sure most of you, probably a few older collectors know what the Green Llama is, but no one cares. No one cares about the Green Llama because he's come and gone. He's not in current comic books, and he's like nowhere to be seen, and he's not like super popular at all. So this goes off popularity. So someone sees a movie coming out and like, oh yeah, I really liked that book when I was a kid. I should think about getting it. Or it's like, oh man, that'd be cool to have the first one of this. So that all of a sudden you get a flood of brand new collectors and investors or whoever they are jumping in, wanting to get Secret Wars #1 because of the announcements and all that kind of stuff. That's why they say like Iron Man is super duper expensive now, like Tales of Astonish 39, because he's had multiple movies. And now you have decades of kids and adults attaching emotional connection to him. And then they're like, yeah, when I have some money, I'm going to get a Tales Suspense 39. So that's how it works. And that's why these books jump up during these times. All right, next we got Flash 105. This is the first of the Silver Age series. The previous one was 104, and that was a golden age, and it stopped for a number of years before starting up again with Barry Allen, said Jay Garrick. All right, a 3.5 up 21% from 1600 to 1942, a 4.0 up 29% from 1680 to 2170, and a 7.5 is up 43% from 5,767 to 8,500. You can see just like a kind of little boop up there. To me, this book has been a very slow mover over time. Not very many sell, but when they do, they command quite a bit of money. Like this one, 7.5 for 8,500. Now, is this going up because the Flash movie's coming out? Possibly. I still think this is a good book long term, regardless. Next, we got X-Men 102. This is the Origin of Storm. An 8.0 is up 45% from $96 to $139. A 9.2 is up 67% from $158 to $265. And then a 9.8 is up 14% from $1,119 to $1,280. And you can see in the graph there, you can see that way long ago, it shot up and it was really expensive. The reason why is probably really expensive a long, long time ago. Those are like one-off sales. Probably because back then there wasn't that many 9.8s. That's what happened in the old days of CGC. People didn't know what was out there. They didn't know how many books existed. Like, that's kind of a cool thing about CGC and the census is back in the day, you go to a Comic-Con, that was the only time maybe you saw a particular book. Maybe a couple of times on the internet prior to CGC, but for the most part, you never see these books. So you have no idea how many exist and how many in high grade. So when CGC first came out, you know, you could have a 9.6 or something and it'd go for like $20,000, and then a month later, a 9.8 comes out, and then that $20,000 9.6 is now worth half that. You know, it just happens. So it takes a while. Next, we got Avengers number 8, first appearance of Kang the Conqueror. A 3.5 is up 21% from 1357 to 1650. A 6.5 is up 29% from 1680 to 2170. And a 9.0 is up 77% from 4576 to 8100. Look at that graph, just literally straight up. Straight up. Why? Why is Kang going up? Well, it's pretty obvious. He's going to be the super duper bad like Thanos, I think, in the next upcoming Avengers. They've already teased him. I think he's showing up in... First he showed up in Loki, then he showed up in whatever, Ant-Man, was it 3? The Quantum something? I forget. And then, yeah, I think it's 3. And then I think he's going to be... Was it Avengers 5, the Kang Dynasty or something? I can't remember these names off the top of my head. Something like that. And he's going to be the big bad. So that's going to kind of change a lot of things with a bunch of different timelines. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe we'll get a new Iron Man during that time. I could see that happening, like different timelines and universes colliding. And, you know, Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, is dead in this universe. But then, you know, Tom Cruise playing as Tony Stark is alive in this universe, which I could see happening. And then also maybe we'll get rid of the crappy Smart Hulk and we'll get a nice brooding, like, brute of a Hulk. We'll get him and get rid of a bunch of other characters, bring in some more characters. I think the XMen Fantastic Four probably brought in then. Yeah, so that's what probably happened. Do I think it's a good book? Of course I do. Of course I do. Regardless of like the movies and stuff like that, he's still one of Avengers' greatest foes of all time. He battles them constantly. So we've got that going for it. All right. Last on this list is Thor 126, Thor battling Hercules. A 6.0 is up 43% from 210 to 300. An 8.0 is up 7% from 750 to 800. And a 9.0 is up 76% from 1025 to 1800. Why is this book massively heating up? Like ridiculous amounts, almost doubling in almost a month. Well, if you haven't seen the new Thor movie, Hercules is in it. So I don't know if I should have said spoilers because I totally forgot. It was at the end credits scene. For some reason, I thought it was in the normal movie. Regardless, if you're watching this, I'm pretty sure that most of you have already seen most of these movies by now, or at least watch a bunch of YouTubers to know that Hercules is in Thor. All right, they show a little clip of him. He doesn't look, I don't know, who knows? Who's to say what he's going to actually be like? But that's why any Hercules stuff is popping off. His first appearance was actually in Journey Mystery Annual number 1. Then I think his next appearance would have been in Journey Mystery 125. And then we got Thor 126, which carries over from Journey the Mystery. Journey Mystery, the series ended. And then this is the first Thor. So you got basically the start of the series. It's also a really cool cover. A lot of times this is homaged many times. And very cool. I believe it's Jack Kirby, if I'm not mistaken. But needless to say, Hercules, popular character in Marvel Comics. Now, I mean, he's not top tier. You know, that's Hulk. Hulk's the only one that's top tier. Everyone else is bottom tier. But he is quite a popular character. He's had multiple runs of his own comics. So this is a good book. Do I think 1800 is too much for a 9.0? I do. But that's not to say that it won't go up over time, which I think it will. But I think in the short term that it was a little too much for 1800. But hey, I am not the one to tell you how to spend your money. If you like something, buy it. Have a good day.